Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Hello. Okay, people, welcome back to another Fwoosh review. Tonight, I'm taking a look at the Hasbro Star Wars Black Series exclusive Guards of Evil. Now, I think these were at GameStop and ThinkGeek and Barnes & Noble, and I decided to order mine from Barnes & Noble, and that's why it's coming in so late, because for some reason, they waited a month to get their stock in, and I think I saved like $5, $10, I don't know. I seem to remember thinking the price was lower there, so I'll grab it there. Always bites me in the ass. I could have bought this at GameStop before I actually received it from Barnes & Noble. But I waited. I'm a good boy. There was plenty of other stuff to look at. Now, I was just recording a new figure of fodder, and I was going to include this, but that episode got way too big, and I was already wanting to open this. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. We'll push off figure of fodder till tomorrow or the next day. Now, on top of coming in way late, I also have a feeling that this review is going to be same figure, different flavor, same figure, different flavor, same figure, different flavor. And then we've seen this figure, same flavor, it just has a different helmet on it. So it should be fairly quick. So I'm going to go ahead and also take a look at the Amazon exclusive Elite Praetorian Guard with the heavy blade. And I'm going to take this and fix my original Elite Praetorian Guard. If you remember that review, it came with screwed up shoulder pads. I'm going to donate the shoulder pads from it, or this is going to be my good one. And then maybe if I don't like this cloth robe on this one, we'll do some switching and swapping and see what happens. Now, looking at the package here, I think on the others they folded out and stuff. It was like 4 separate packs. This, it seems like one big box, guards inside. I'm good with that. Package goes in the trash, who cares? But you can see each guard, you can see each of their weapons. I like how the Elite Praetorian Guard is double lame when translated. On the back, you get all these pretty pictures. You get the bios for each character. And then a whole bunch of unreadables. Probably says something like, I'm Blueberry. Cherry checking in. I'm Blackberry.
And I'm Roofhead. You've gotten my teammates lately, but guess what? I'm double lame.
Looking at the Elite Praetorian from Amazon, same thing. Anyway, I'm going to get all this open, see what's going on here. And there we go, all out of the package, and ooh, Guards of Evil, such a mean looking set. But first off, I'm going to start with the Amazon exclusive Praetorian Guard. Like I said about my review of the first one that came out, I like this sculpt, and I love how they did the elbows here. They're hidden, but they do give you movement. You got to kind of tear at it, but yeah, we'll get to that here in a second. But the armor pieces on the arm, they just flow down to the wrist. The chest looks great with the detail from the armor and then the blue dot painted on. But you get down to the bottom half and it has those plastic robes. They do impede movement a little bit, but they just look so great. And uniform with other Black Series figures and the figure arts. So, and then the head, like I said during the review of the figure arts version of this figure, this is not my favorite helmet, the underbite look. And I think it comes down to the back being flat, just everything juts forward, and I don't really like that. But that's the movie's fault, not the figure's fault. Sliding right over to the Praetorian Guard from the Guards of Evil 4-pack, same body here, same nice sculpt on the arms going down. Same shoulder pads, and thankfully it looks like this one and the Amazon one came with the right shoulder pads, so I'll be able to do some surgery here in a minute. But the weird thing about this one is it uses cloth at the bottom. I don't know why Hasbro went this direction, maybe because of the rest of the pack is using cloth and they got a discount on it or something. But the other two guards from Hasbro have the plastic lower robes. It just doesn't fit in the overall scheme. Then the head, it's the roofy head. It looks like he has a big shingle on the top of his head. Still not my favorite, but I do like this one better than the other one I just looked at. Then there's the Emperor's Royal Guard. We have this one single packed, and from the looks of it, this is the exact same figure. But I do appreciate that they put this armor underneath the robes. They could have just made, you know, either hard robes, a big old traffic cone, or they could have put a generic sculpt under here, but they went with that Crimson Empire look. Same thing for the Emperor's Shadow Guard, same body, same cloth, same head, just everything in black. Which is not a problem at all. It matches the source material. I think it was Force Unleashed, one of those games. And hey, I'm always down for something painted completely in black. Stormtrooper, Scout Trooper, Snow Trooper. Have we seen a Snow Trooper? Yeah, I don't think so. Same thing for the Royal Guard. It just looks cool in the alternating glossy and matte black. And then finally for the City Guard, again, same body, same sewing to the robe, same cloth material, except in blue. I do like that they alternated between the two shades of blue. Kind of a duller blue for the suit itself, and then the armor pieces are glossy blue. I love that. Get to the head, and it's the episode 3 look. I don't think a lot of people associate that as the most popular look for the Senate Guard. I know at least for me, it goes back to the episode 1 look with the open visor. You can see the face underneath. But I can see why they went for this. It's less sculpting involved. It's got the shield over it, and it could be anybody. If it were the episode 1 version and you've got a bunch of them, it'd essentially be the same dude under the helmet all the way across. Looking at the Amazon Guard, which is essentially looking at the other Praetorian that comes in the 4-pack, you can see the shoulder pads both match up. I've got kind of a weird texture on the top of this one. Not so much this one. This one's kind of cracky. And I've had a lot of people, even after the first review, asking about the elbows. And sometimes I see comments of, it's only rotation, there's no bend, but you have to get it lined up just right, and then you have to fight against this rubber cup that comes down and hides the articulation. So kind of as you bend, you also have to push back. So it's really forcing it. And I think it kind of bends and tears at that rubber piece. So if you leave it like this too long, it may deform that cap. For the 4-pack Praetorian, like I said, it has cloth for the lower robe. It just doesn't match anything else in here. And don't get me wrong, I'm not against cloth. Mezco has made me a believer in cloth, and some of the Black Series stuff isn't terrible. It's not great, but this follows in line with that. Yeah, it works, and it allows you a lot more movement to the legs, but it just doesn't match the rest of them. And then looking at the Royal Guard, yeah, the head doesn't have a lot of movement to it, but I've actually stopped 501st guys wearing Royal Guard garb, and they say that with this bucket sitting on the shoulders and being how it is, you can't really move like that. So it's realistic, and there's not really any way of getting around it being the design it is. For the sake of keeping this video shorter, but every time I say that, you're like, damn, Robo, you went 20 minutes anyway. So I'm trying to cut short. If you want to check out the articulation scheme on the Praetorian Guard, you can check that out here. And then the articulation scheme on the Royal Guard, which is essentially the same as the Senate Guard and the Shadow Guard, you can check that out here. Now for accessories, the Amazon Guard comes with this sword looking thing. It's not really sharp on any of the sides. We've seen this with the figure arts ones. It's just pointy on the end, and I think this extends out to become the whip. And then it comes with this long staff with the big ass blade on the end of it. It's a really nice sculpt. You can see all the little details up in here, and the silver is a little bit metallic. And on top of that, it's a little bit rubbery. So I don't feel like when I'm trying to get it in both hands, I'm going to snap it in half or anything. For the guard in the 4-pack, he comes with the double blades. Nice sculpt to it. A little bit small, but I'm not sure. Again, we'll get to the comparison here in a minute. There's 2 of them, but unlike the figure arts this time around, the peg, it actually has a hole this time. So you can plug it together and make it a staff type weapon. Will that go the other way? No, it only goes one way, looks like. You can only put it alternating. For the Royal Guard, he comes with his pull cue looking weapon thing. Just like the first time around, it's a nice sculpt. It's got some nice paint. I mean, it's just straight up black paint on it. Or silver on the black. Maybe it's silver because, well, I don't know. Either or. It's a bit plain, but it works. And then in the pack, the 3 of them with this belt has the pistol in the holster. And that actually goes in the left hand. As you can see, he's got some weird double knuckle thing going on. The 2 fingers here are attached together, and then the 2 down here are attached together, and it slides over the top 2 fingers in his hand, and then he can hold the pistol. For the Senate Guard, he comes with the rifle from the prequels. I really like this. The silver is a little bit different than the other silvers on the other weapons, and it's almost a glossier black. And you can put that up over the shoulder. Looks good, like he's guarding something. It's a little bit tougher to get it down and around and put it in his hand, but not impossible. But you can't get it in any combat because the head just essentially swivels. That's actually not bad. I like that. And then for the Shadow Guard, he comes with the same pistol, and then this baton, this staff, this whatever it is, and then a lightsaber blade plugs into the top of that. It is removable. I've heard of people saying that theirs are pretty loose. Mine's actually kind of tight. Once you get it in there and rotate it just right in there. And that looks great. I didn't play a lot of The Force Unleashed, if that's the right game this is from. So I don't know exactly how this works, but I like that it's a different weapon from the rest of them. Hey, I'm always down for something different. For comparison, here is the Amazon exclusive with the SH Figure Arts version of the same figure. You can see that it's a little bit bigger. I dig the elbows a little bit better on the Black Series, but weapon-wise, it's comparable. In fact, the Black Series blade may be just slightly bigger than the figure arts, which is weird because you get to the Praetorian that comes in the 4-pack and compare it to the figure arts version. Yeah, the Black Series body is a little bit bigger, but there is a definite difference in the weapons here. The Black Series is really tiny. And having not seen the movie, I don't know which one's right, if it's supposed to be the smaller or the big imposing version from the figure arts. The good thing about the figure arts though is you get this blade that's attached together and you get two separate blades that are supposed to look like they're apart. So if you want the big blades, you can leave one with your figure arts and you can give the other set to the Black Series. I like win-wins like that. And then you pretty much have an idea of size for the Royal Guard if you have the first release. But if not, here he is with the Black Series Stormtrooper. Good size. It looks like the same size a person inside both armors. Now if we go back to my first Praetorian Guard, if you remember, the shoulder pads on mine were messed up. This one's hanging way lower. It's essentially, this is the same shoulder pad as this, which isn't symmetrical, so the hangover is on the wrong side here. So I ended up getting a second one of these, and thankfully, the shoulder pads came out even on it. Looks much, much better. What I'm gonna do here is, because I don't like the cloth, I don't hate it, but in order to make all my guards from two different companies uniform, I'm going to take my screwed up one and take the skirt. Well, okay, I'm going to take the head, put it onto this body along with the shoulder pads. That will give me good shoulder pads on all my Praetorians, and then all of them will have the plastic skirt. It's easy enough to pull off the shoulder pads. They just pop out of the ball socket. But the head, not so much. It feels like they have some kind of new peg up in there that doesn't really pop off. I'm actually splitting the neck piece. So I'm going to need some heat for it and take it off. Look, I've already loosened it up. Switch those out, see how that comes out. And there we go. Not bad at all. Well, actually, kind of bad. I don't know why they made the ball joint so huge to go up in there. You couldn't just pull off. But I put some heat to it, popped them off, and then I had to heat it again to actually get it on the ball joint because it wasn't just, going on. But the plastic robes make it look just like all the rest of the figures. And then I have my first guard in full working order with matching shoulder pads. Yay! So at the end of the day, I'm pretty happy with the set. I feel like it should be discounted a little bit, but that's the way these 4-packs are. We see a lot of reuse just to get them out there, and they're essentially the price of individual figures. This was 4, it was 80 bucks. I want to complain, but I can't really complain. I said it last week, with the Praetorians, I'm kind of getting burnout on them just because there's so many coming out all at the same time. We have the 3 from Black Series, we have the 2 from Figure Arts, we have another one coming next month. And I say 3 when it's essentially all the same body, different weapons, different head. I'm cool with the concept, but it's just too much, too soon, too quick. And I haven't even seen the movie, so I don't even know if I like them in the movie. And I'm guilty of saying I hope they do something in the movie, but I love having the Return of the Jedi Royal Guards, and they didn't do jack in the movie. They just stood there, kind of walked around. So even if the Praetorians end up not doing much in The Last Jedi, I'm good with the designs. I like the arms, I like the bodies, I like the different heads. I have my preferences, but overall, I like them. I just don't want to touch them for the next few weeks until I get the Figure Arts one. And then the Shadow Guard, even not knowing its origins or what it did in the game or whatever, like I said way back, I'll take anything if it's painted black. And then the Senate Guard, it adds to the prequel shelf. I dig the blue. Well, the different blues. It's a nice contrast to what we're used to. I'm sick of red is what I'm saying. I've looked at too much red in the past week. So having something blue, it stands out on the shelf, especially being the color blue it is. The way they sculpted the head though, it's constantly looking up, or it looks like it's looking up. You can't really get it to kick down where it seems like it's facing forward. With the Royal Guard and the Shadow Guard, it looks like they're looking forward. And speaking of those two, this gives me an even better chance of making Karn Jax and Kir Kanos. Using the red for Kanos, using the black for Jax, bring in the other colors to complete those two looks. But I don't see myself buying a second set of these to, replace if I do customize these. Although another Senate Guard wouldn't hurt. And I keep seeing people talking about there's 8 Praetorians in the scene from the trailer with Snoke. Maybe I will get another set. If I see this on clearance, I'll probably grab another set. But I do love what we got in this set. So if you like the review, comment, like, subscribe. I'll catch you on Fwoosh.